Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we should probably add some music to the mix.
I could do that. Music
What's
right
up?
away.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this special edition. Trying something a little different here tonight. How you feeling, Enzo? I
Oh,
guess first we should just recap the market itself and and how we finished. Finished strong. I would say strong to quite strong. Do we carry that momentum over?
um, I mean, looking even at it now, it was just kind of doing exactly what we thought it was. We thought it was going to come towards kind of back in, excuse me, to us on the SPY. We thought it easily would be able to reach that 410 area, but it ended up going and kind of hanging out there aftermarket and holding there with some decent support. I don't see any problem why we couldn't go and end up gapping back. But if I were a betting man, I would assume that we go green into tomorrow morning, red off of some news, and then green off of whatever. I think it's consumer tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Tomorrow, I don't know if we get anything. We get CPI Wednesday, PPI Thursday. I'm not sure what we get tomorrow.
I can. Yeah, calendar wise, we are looking very very hot coming out of. We have consumer price index month over month for China coming out in about 30, and then we have immediately 2 o'clock in I believe this is Norway. Consumer price index. We got big news wise consumer price index year over year at 5 a.m. Oh, that's not what I wanted. And that seems like the only huge thing on the bill tomorrow in my eyes right now. We do have a little bit of account NSA. Account NSA. What is that?
No strings attached.
Ah, thank you. That looked familiar. It just looked weird.
I don't know what it means.
Oh, you're just blowing me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, it looks familiar, and like it's not like the NSA type of. I don't know.
All
Heller?
right.
Helen
Well,
Keller?
Helen
I'm deaf as
Keller.
shit.
Helen Keller. Girth Brooks wants to know if birds are real. You're gonna have to tune into episode 3 for that. We're just getting started
Oh
here.
man, no. You want to know if the birds are real? Did we even fly in Kitty Hawk? Huh?
We might
Some
have.
say. Some say. But no, to answer your original question, I do like the SPY for tomorrow. I see that we could easily. I feel like we are a house of cards right now. Metaphorically speaking, I feel like the market is a house of cards right now. And typically, you might go and accidentally bump, like, let's say you're playing Jenga. You might bump the table and it might kind of move, but it won't go and give all the way out. You might knock a piece off the top. You might shake the board a little bit. But we're in a situation right now that one little wrong shake of the board, and I feel like someone could come out very one-sided out of this ordeal, and I don't know that it's going to be in a favorable position to be us.
Well, it could come down to a situation that it's not necessarily divided by countries, but corporations, and I think it kind of leads right into the first thing I wanted to touch on, which was the
Oop.
ExxonMobil interest
Oh,
in
Jesus.
Pioneer. Okay, now the reason I think this is a big deal
It's a huge deal.
is for the reasons I'll show right now. But I think it could be a bigger picture of more consolidation, more and
Sideways trading.
the catalyst behind this is the fact that they have to spend their money somewhere, and share buybacks aren't going to be an option if you're going to quadruple the tax on them. So you got Exxon looking at Pioneer. That'll put, let's see, if Exxon does buy Pioneer, then Diamondback and Permian Resources Corp are the best derivatives. So then we're looking, if that goes through, then we're looking at who's Chevron going to buy. So Chevron, and these people are saying, this is coming from Yahoo Finance, they're saying Devon, Diamondback, Coterra Energy, APA Corp, and Permian Resources. So those start getting bought up by Exxon, Chevron, Oxy. You got a big consolidation of money there. Now you've got, I don't know. I think it's a bigger deal than it wasn't really let on today. What scares me is Kramer was pumping Pioneer tonight.
Oh, hell no.
So Kramer's pumping Pioneer. What that leads me to think is it's a combination. It leads me to think that Pioneer is in some kind of trouble. Because let's not forget, as far as energy companies, they took a huge hit during the beginning of the pandemic.
Correct me, who is Pioneer again? Pioneer, like the audio pioneers, or
no, they're shale producers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm.
So they're looking. So Exxon's
hold on, real quick.
For the only
trades for free. What's up, baby? Glad to see you. Sorry about that.
Hey, trades for free.
Yeah, he was coming. He was saying what's up earlier today. I thought he would come by and see you. I told him we might see him later, but I'm having technical difficulties with OBS. I will be back momentarily. I'm still here audio wise.
Okay.
But yeah, trade. Love to see you. Short it? How short? Like bicycle shorts, or are we like we long dicking it, like getting caught in the chain?
Well, that's what scares me is them looking at buying this. I mean, that's an easy reason that they have to spend their cash somewhere. But Kramer just threw me off with it. I had a complete different view, and then I seen Kramer, and it's like, what the?
Well, they have to give him one. If you feel really confident about it, they got to give him one every once in a while. So you might want to go. Let's see. How long has he been? How long? I mean, damn, he took.
What I would look at.
No, hell no. But I'm saying, if you're looking for something crazy,
what I would look at is, I would look at these other companies like Devon, the companies that they said will be in line for a buyout. If this one goes through, I would be looking at Diamondback Energy, Devon Energy, and I would be looking to short them, because it doesn't. I think there's more to it than them just buying up these companies. I think they may be in some trouble that they're not talking about, which will drive the price down. I mean, they haven't even. What did Exxon go up? Or Pioneer jumped 6% today. I think Exxon was up. I don't think they were up much off that news. And they haven't even made an offer. This is just on rumor.
Nice.
So it could be a pump and dump.
I mean, I don't know enough about oil, and obviously the crude market and natural gas, that kind of stuff. I don't know enough about that, and I don't even watch the way that it moves half the time. The only thing that I really noticed is that it's used to cause people to become alert to their surroundings.
Yeah, and oil definitely has that other tier that I'm not as versed in too. But what I do know is when you get bigger companies buying smaller companies, especially if it starts a trend, that the bigger companies aren't going to drive the price of the smaller company up before buying it. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And odds are the bigger guys got more firepower than whatever that company is. Now, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying it's common sense.
100%.
Hold on 1 second.
I can definitely understand that. It's a no, I don't like I said, I don't know enough about. I like looking at Exxon every once in a while and stuff like that, but it just seems like to me overall the oil market in general is all a big high five right to the nads most of the time. It's either a here, let me go and use the oil market to create fear and panic and have people lining up at the it's basically like a how high meter. When you say jump, I ask you how high. Well, how fucking high is oil going lately? Well, that's how high right there. Not, I don't know that it is right now, but I'm saying just in general.
Oh, it's definitely used as a
catalyst.
And it's, I don't know, it's used as, you know, a gauge of not necessarily the economy, but one of them. You know, the people that don't follow the stock market, people that you know are for whatever reason
they don't realize how weird the world is.
Yeah, they look at gas prices as like,
oh, just a day-to-day kind of ooh.
No, they look at it as like if gas prices aren't bad, where like right now, even though they're on the rise, they're down from $5. So there's a lot of people that are like, oh, they're doing something good. Gas prices aren't as high as they were before.
Yo, Biden's killing it, and you've heard all them good shits he's done lately. He's dog shit. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. I'm just giving my 30-year-old opinion on it.
Well, before we get into the little bit more controversial stuff, let's go with one more good story. We talked about it on the air a little bit earlier, but I still think that this is a big deal with Super Mario.
Oh, that's a huge deal.
And we touched on it, and this article kind of says the same thing, you know, and that's pretty big to
huge.
So 2019 Frozen 2 had the best opening for an animated film. 2019, if you remember, movie theaters were jump off. I
still hear people singing that dumbass song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's huge.
So to top that, and what I like is that they kind of talk about it down here, what we touched on earlier. Every studio is looking for the next big franchise to create greater revenue generating and create big screen opportunities. And what is better than an animated anything? You have a world that is endless. Actors don't age out. They don't, you know what I mean? There's not contract disputes. So I think we'll see, you know, I don't know if everyone will be video game based or what it'll be, but I think this is definitely good for AMC in the long run and for whoever capitalizes, whoever puts the content out.
No, I completely agree. I think the market for what just went off in Ubisoft's head, what just went off in the Halo series or trilogies, I mean, you can go for days. I mean, the cinematics already in Call of Duty alone, or Fortnite. You've seen the Fortnite ones with Nikki. I mean, they're on another level at this point, and
they could put out 5 Fortnite movies already just off of in-game content.
Oh, that's liquid cocaine, man. That is, oh my god. I hate Fortnite with a passion. Those in-game events are bar none the coolest thing I've ever seen in the history of video games when it comes to an interactive experience. I think that's absolutely incredible, but I mean, fuck Epic Games, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is I'm just jealous that they hit on that concept, and they've, as much as I've wanted to see this game die because it's not necessarily cost me money. I've watched Nikki waste a lot of money. It's not, he doesn't come to me and ask for stuff, but when he gets gift cards for his birthday, stuff like that, he'll blow it on skins and shit. And part of me always wanted it to just phase out, but like I give them so much credit because they've kept the game fresh. Like they've kept changes that have kept the game still being Fortnite, but have added so much and just kept it relevant and been able. They've been amazing at getting the rights to stuff and then dangle it in kids' faces and getting them to buy it. You know what I mean? Bringing Marvel in, bringing like so much different. They've brought so many different genres of skins and stuff like that.
The partnerships and shit. My issue with it is that how has that game managed, and I give it to the company of Epic Games and obviously the controlling entity, but the way that they've gone and taken huge. I can't understate if you haven't played the game or you don't know what it is. It's like taking the football out of football. Sometimes they go to that game and they take like building, for instance. Oh, fuck that 1 week. Bye. Gone. And it's just gone. Like there's no middleman. There's no, no.
Yeah, I think they only did that like once or twice where they just took where they completely took the building out.
Right. But think about the company that has to go and have the set of cojones on them to go and completely restructure a third party shooter to a building and then back and then go to see. Like there's so many.
They won the lottery.
It's an incredible source of.
The game was built off of a failed co-op. Like the Battle Royale was just an afterthought when they came out with that. They had came out with the original that was supposed to be like a 4-player co-op.
It's where you have your own station and stuff.
And it failed miserably.
It was terrible.
Miserably, so they put out that and it hit. And the most genius thing that they did was they made it pay to look good and not pay to win.
Right. They also
there's no advantage that money can get you in that game. You can't buy anything that will.
There is a couple of them that definitely you can. They are pay to win, but they're very.
They're dope, but they don't give you anything like
they do if they're in the right hands. If you watch some of those clips, there are like some emotes that where a guy would lay down and it was a weird edit. Nikki will tell you what I'm talking about, but it was a weird edit where it would just lay the guy down and you were able to pop up right in this little window without having to move left or right. And
there's probably some extreme stuff, but like I said, for the most part,
of it, they're incredible.
And
they're doing it in the right way to where they're keeping kids engaged, even with just like the culture of what's going on outside the game and bringing it into Marshmallow. I mean, Travis Scott was kind of a fucking catastrophe, let's be honest, but
I thought the Travis Scott one was dope.
It was dope, but I'm saying having to be associated, the Marshmallow was flat.
That was just like, that was crazy. Like watching that happen live in the game with like really Marshmallow, like that one was only just one event. Like it was live and there was only like not even 100 people in it.
I think I caught it on Tim the Tatman stream or something like that.
But then the ones after that, they did it so that everybody could do it. Like it was a live event, but it was live to everybody. Like I did the Travis Scott one 3 times with Nikki, just because he liked it, and it was cool. Yeah. It was. I forget there was a couple other good ones.
I think that there is an amazing amount of not franchising, but licensing in that game that is on another tier of God. Like, I mean, for you to go and be able to pull down, let's call it Marvel, Batman, or I guess Batman is in DC. Okay, so fair enough. But like you get all those things. Joker.
That's the thing is they got so many different things. So where I'm looking,
strange thing
to bring this back to the market is what is Epic Games doing behind the scenes for the next level of
what the hell could
micro transactions?
Oh, but yeah, that's a
I'm just
whole
mean
different
how
ballgame.
because
making it a free to play game is where they went and made a genius discovery.
They changed the game. They
Absolutely
changed the game, and then Xbox with the Game Pass getting better, turning into Ultimate Game Pass, they kind of
Well, think about
took the
just what
next step.
they. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, they just kind of like it's been a combination of things that make actual games being bought kind of rare. You know,
Right.
it
I
has
don't
to
think
be.
I've bought a game in 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing because if you're somebody, you know, who doesn't, if I was a kid nowadays and like being able to just have Game Pass and have hundreds of games to play every month, like I would be in my glory. I was getting a Nintendo game and it was like, here, you're good for 3 months. You better play
Right.
that shit every day.
You had to go to the what? Like, did you have to go to an arcade or something?
I
Back in
mean,
the day?
if you wanted to play anything good, like now, you know, it's the complete opposite now. I
You
mean,
didn't have
there's
that Mrs. Pac-Man and the red, white, and red, white, and yellow ox
I had
coins?
Atari, man, and Atari was
Woo!
tough. It
No,
was
that's
tough.
fire right there. No, I do have something to go and pull that back though. Is we were looking at Kick, and I wanted to kind of have somebody scratch. Let me kind of throw you a theory here. Twitch, or excuse me, Kick is a lot like Twitch, right? So you have like the interactive shit, gamers just chatting, that kind of stuff, right? It's pretty much Twitch under the same kind of thing, but they don't like to go and censor your material, right?
Yeah.
There's another business right now, and I was thinking of, okay, if I'm looking at that as a corporation, who do I go and cuddle up to if I'm Kick? Because we already saw Mixer with Microsoft, right? That shit the bed absolutely nasty with like 100 mil. They paid for Shroud, Ninja, all kinds of people. It shit the bed. It was terrible. It was the worst fucking deal I've ever seen in my life. Then Facebook comes out and Facebook runs a train on Twitch, right? And then YouTube comes out, just absolutely just turns Twitch upside down. And now we have Kick. And the problem that I'm facing, and I'm sure you as well probably are tired of the content, copyright claims, the having to always, oh, we can't say this, we can't say that. At some point, I start to look at the fact that Kick could now be acquired by somebody, a bigger business, let's say. Well, why not somebody that does not have a gaming service attached to it yet, who is definitely attached to knowledge of gaming,
Twitter.
Mr. Elon Musk, and looked at Twitter? Because you look at Amazon Live is coming out with their new Amazon Live QVC looking stupid shit. But you have Kick, who is kind of preaching free speech here. And I think that could go and get a lot of echo if you go and realize that almost every Twitch streamer, every streamer that's ever been banned that has multiple hundreds of thousands, if not millions of viewers, right? Those people are all going somewhere if they get banned. Those people are now transitioning into what we know as Twitch. Shout out Nikki D, or excuse me, Kick. Shout out to Nikki D. But it's in its beta form right now. It hasn't even gone and completely matured. Once it does, I would be curious to see if Twitter doesn't go and start sniffing out Kick's way.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Facebook Gaming already has Facebook Gaming.
Yeah.
You already have a lot of different things already in place. Why not just go find a little bit of gaming in the Twitterverse?
I agree.
Speaking of the Twitterverse, anything interesting coming out over there?
Yes, we got a few interesting things. Well, the rest is kind of all all bad news from here on out. That was the good news. The Exxon Mobil, I guess that was kind of good. The Super Mario AMC.
Gotta love that, dude. I'm throwing red shells, baby.
Which one do we go to first?
I mean, take your pick. Spin the wheel. I'm ready.
Well, let's go a little bit in reverse because this came out kind of over the weekend, but it still seems to be all the talk of who leaked the top U.S. documents and why. And if you don't know what's going on with this,
haven't heard about it at all, actually.
So some documents came out, show a different telling of what's going on over there.
Oh,
as far as
okay.
Casualties being.
Is this the 4-1 thing?
Yeah. So
right
here, the U.S. estimates that between 189,500 and 223,000 Russian soldiers have been killed or wounded. But then down here it says the number is 16 to 17,000.
Ukraine's killed in action 16K to 17,500, and puts those.
So with this one, we got a few audio clips to listen to as well. Okay, so this is
what's the benefit there? Covering up the fact that you're getting absolutely throttled at the threshold.
Well, with what we'll get to after this one, so maybe we should have did Taiwan first, but what we'll get to with that, my theory is we're not capable of fighting a war on two fronts. So if we want to gear up for something with China, we got to
stop the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
Fair.
So hold on 1 second.
I mean, it is like the United States to kind of try to have a finger in everybody's fishbowl, if you will. Oh, hold on. Let me grab this audio for you.
I got it. I'm good. Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to listen to a couple clips and then we'll talk about them.
Several documents of what appears to be secret information about the war in Ukraine have been leaked online. And if the documents prove to be true, it could mean U.S. troops are on the ground in Ukraine. NTD's Jason Perry takes a look at those documents.
The Pentagon is now investigating what appears to be secret documents about the war in Ukraine that were leaked online. They appear to be U.S. and NATO military documents with classification markings of secret and top secret. As of now, no official statements have been made about who was responsible for the alleged leak. In an email to NTD, the Pentagon gave us this statement. We are aware of the reports of social media posts, and the department is reviewing the matter. U.S. officials say the documents look like real slides from the Pentagon, but also say some of the information has been altered. For example, a document from March 2023, classified as secret, says between 60,000 to 70,000 Ukrainian troops have been killed in action, which is higher than what the Pentagon says it estimates. The documents also estimate Russia's casualties to be around 16,000 to 17,000. But U.S. officials say they estimate around 200,000 Russian troops have been killed in action. Another document, also classified as secret, is dated February 2023. It shows the amount of Western weapon systems that Ukraine currently has on hand and the estimated delivery of additional systems. And it also lists the training Ukrainian forces have or are expected to have on those systems.
Okay, so let me play part 2 of that real quick.
The director of Grand Strategy at Quincy Institute, George Beebe, had this to say on the Hill.
One potential hypothesis here is that this was designed to get the Russians to let their guard down. to think that the Ukrainians are not going to be coming at them with big numbers and overwhelming force. And that's possible, but I think if you were really trying to throw the Russians off, you would want to include some things that would include where and when the Ukrainians might be attacking. That would be the ultimate aim of this kind of deception.
Something else that was shown in the documents is the presence of nearly 100 special operations troops in Ukraine from NATO countries, including from the United States, France, and the UK, according to the New York Post. Russia's Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said this in a statement to CNN. We don't have the slightest doubt about the direct and indirect involvement of the United States and NATO in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Well, of course, it makes the whole story more complicated, but it can't influence the final outcome of the special operation.
Very odd.
Okay, so why would they? Like I said, my inclination is that they can't, like I said, fight a war on two fronts. And with that, we will look at the next one. So people think it's crazy to talk about boots on the ground or anything. And I'm echoing, sorry. In Taiwan or any kind of conflict over there, but so the China military ready to fight after drills in Taiwan. Now, just like kind of Russia, when something's coming out of there, we obviously take it with a grain of salt. We've seen this before. They had kind of these same training exercises and whatnot going on when Pelosi went there last year and pissed them off, and now their president, Taiwan's, came to America, met with the new Speaker of the House. So everybody's all up in arms. But again, I'll give you an audio clip from
Tio, real quick.
Yep.
Can I have those numbers again? Because they just seem a smidge off.
Which one?
Just the important ones. Go ahead. I need those. What I think it was.
They were only off by a little bit.
What? 150 thou?
180 or so.
Give or take. Tax write-off. Fun coupons, right? People's lives, not a big deal. Run the clip. I'm sorry. I digress.
All right, so this is Michael McCall.
Hold on a minute. Let's just assume that 180,000 people in the United States just fuck off. Do you not think that somebody's asking some questions?
Yeah.
That's going to be all over the front. It's going to be UFOs. It's going to be whatever.
The truth of the matter is, in any kind of war situation, there's going to be lies on both sides, exaggerations as far
100%.
as casualties. But this is a pretty big.
This is a pretty big exaggeration. This isn't just
neither one's probably right. I'm not saying that these numbers allegedly came from inside the Pentagon. So I guess they can try to spin it and say it's Russian disinformation or misinformation, but it didn't come from Russia. It came from inside the Pentagon. So
fair play. I have a hard time looking at war as an honorable men who fight for their country kind of thing, and then we can't even start counting fucking bodies correctly. Come on, man. That's a little bit I don't know. I haven't gone and been to war, and I hopefully don't ever have to do that. But if I'm looking at it as a man to man, I don't even want you touching my golf ball in the strokes. You know what I'm talking about? Don't go and miscount my bodies of the people that are fighting for my country. That's just kind of ass. I don't know. But I digress. Love you too, Trades. No, my bedtime's good.
This is Michael McCall. He's a representative from Texas, and this is him. He's buddy with McCarthy. So this is him talking about Taiwan.
So Speaker McCarthy and yourself have said that multiple times now, that we need to arm Taiwan now before there's any sort of invasion. What about U.S. troops?
I think, then you're talking about an authorized use of military force that would come out of my committee, or a declaration of war, which we haven't utilized since World War II.
Would you support that?
I think if China, Communist China, invades Taiwan, I think that is certainly, if the American people support this, the Congress will follow.
House Foreign Affairs Chairman Michael McCaul signaling he is open to sending American troops to fight in Taiwan. Aisha Hasni has the exclusive report from Taipei. Good morning, Aisha.
Good morning to you, Dana. Good to see you. You know, this is very different than what we heard right before the war on Ukraine, when lawmakers were very adamant that there would absolutely be no U.S. troops, no boots on the ground. Now we're learning that this is very much a possibility when it comes to Taiwan. In my exclusive interview with Chairman McCaul, he tells me that sending American men and women to war is the last resort. Conflict is the last resort. Deterrence is key here, but authorizing war powers is not out of the question.
So you're saying that the option to authorize war powers is on the table?
If Communist China invaded Taiwan, it would certainly be on the table, and something that would be discussed by Congress and with the American people. Are they prepared to do this? Is Taiwan worth it? I can argue for a lot of reasons why it is.
What the fuck is with the Communist China? I don't understand. What is it like? That's like, I don't understand it, because I can appreciate them feeling like the Chinese government is a communist party. Why do we have to go and say that? Just call them China, or do we need to hammer in the word?
Yeah, you got to throw communist in there, because
who fucking cares?
You're subconsciously saying, okay, if a communist country invades, we've got to. You
think that look? How many people, honestly, please, like, be honest, no judgment. How many fucking people actually know what communism is? Like, where you can go without a shadow of a doubt, not like an actual, you know what communism is. I guarantee you 35% of people, maybe maximum, of the population right now, and that's a maximum, know what communism is. I'd love to know. I'm actually looking that up right now, because I've never actually been taught, from my age, or from my, like, I guess age demographic, I didn't have the government side. I had the history side. I didn't have the checks and balances. We never had that. We just had history, and here's the wars and shit. We didn't have the structural or the image of the structure of the government that it was actually kind of spread around a little bit.
Well,
I'm definitely grabbing this one. No, Trades, I would understand. I would think that you would know. But, like, that would be somebody I would think that was probably older than probably 35, 40 years of age, who either knew a little bit about the wars or just back in I don't remember ever learning about the socialist class or the communist class, communist party. I never. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I learned about it because the Soviet Union was still a thing, like when I was in grade school, and then it was just falling. So
you're looking good then.
Communism was talked about way more in the Soviet Union sense, and I mean, it wasn't. It was really just taught to me in the sense of the government controls everything, you know, it sounds kind of good in theory, where it's like, well, everybody gets a little bit of something, make sure everybody's protected. But you know, me reading a translation of it and somebody living it is two different things. I don't think it's anything that me as an American, I think I can relate to a lot of subjects. I've been through a lot of shit. I've seen some shit. I've done some shit. Not proud of all the shit. But as far as like living under communism, I don't think I could ever really understand it.
Well, I'm getting a very loose grasp of what it is, but right here it says political and economical doctrine that aims to replace private property and profit-based economics with public ownership and communal control.
Yeah, so it's like no rich people. Everybody gets, you know, but it doesn't shake out that.
But you fucking you poll your citizens on the low, though, don't you? For sure.
Yeah, but I'm sure, and I'm not supporting communism in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure that there's classes of people that it's beneficial to that aren't just the 1%. I'm sure that there's. But yeah, for the most part, I'm sure it's shit.
I feel like if that's how life started, where everything was just always from day one, oh, everything's divided equally, that's great. But if people are outworking other people,
look at it this way, Enzo. If I want to make whatever product you can imagine, plastic bullshit number 3, whatever.
Theoretic utopia, right?
Think of how ridiculous it is that it costs me less money to get it made all the way across the fucking world and then shipped here rather than just getting it here. There's a reason for that, and it's
called slave labor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought we were going somewhere else.
No, but that's what communism breeds. I'm assuming that's part of communism, you know. Well, they control everything.
So
I mean, here, obviously, workers aren't the best off. I think people are still underpaid. Minimum wage is kind of a joke. This, that, and the other thing.
But yeah, they have the freedom to stand up and take a piss if they need.
And, I mean, we have a good amount of workers' rights. Sure, it could always be improved, but obviously, we've got superior rights to the people in China, people in other countries that we, like I said, it costs.
We have gas attendants
across the world,
right?
Like that is so crazy. We have the capabilities to make all that shit. It's not like we can't make everything that comes from China. We just don't want to.
Well, we don't have the industrial complex to do so anymore. I don't think
we don't, but we easily
could make it. Yeah, we could easily make it. But if you don't see that, like we have gas station attendants and fast food workers bitch slapping their customers. God help you if you do that see, that's what I don't understand. Why is there slave labor or like let's call a work party over there? I don't know what the hell you call them, but like there's straight up slave labor. But why would you have to do that if everybody's eating equally? Like if everybody's breaking bread and everybody's all good, why is homie getting look like he just ran a marathon? He's been at work 15 minutes and you have a shirt on. You haven't been sitting here for 16 hours. You haven't been making Nikes look absolutely crispy. No cuts on you know? You don't want no bends in the
I guess the idea is that anybody that achieves any kind of success above and beyond is beholden to the party. You know what I mean? Where like,
because the party made them?
Well, I guess that's just the way it is. Like you don't ever really own a bit, you know, like kind of like the mafia type shit. I see.
Okay.
You know?
So how did they do that? So it's a completely communal thing, and they're talking community, right? So if you don't show up for work, you're screwing the next guy. I love that. I appreciate that. It's down the chain. But how do you guys know whose fucking business it is? Why would you come up to work and have any give a shit? Are you assigned to that job?
Well, because they have total no, you're not. It's not like it's not the slave labor. The slave labor is more of the labor camp, and that's an ethnicity thing that I'm not educated on enough to.
Oh, those are just bad doers of certain.
They came from. I don't know. But somehow it gets overlooked. The Uyghurs, I don't even properly know how to say the name, but somehow it gets overlooked, and it's a travesty if you ask me. But
I mean, that's I mean, it's unfortunate, but what it does is economically throughout the world echo or ripple effect. Like even when you're coming back towards US, I mean, you're looking at what, 5-6 times the price of any of those products needing to be made.
Yeah.
But to ship it over, I think would be almost less, if not. I mean, if you can get it for some discount price, I still think that I'd rather pay quality over quality, but not everybody
that tells
feels
you how big of a discount you're getting,
right?
When you incorporate shipping and all those costs into it,
right? So how do they go and make those numbers work? I don't know. I'm a numbers guy, but
I mean, I'm not have people. Number one, like they have over 1 billion people, right? China and India are one.
Right, but they don't need them all in the same 3,500 square feet, elbow to elbow, working on some.
This is what I mean as far as like, I don't know what it's like to live under it, where we've seen, as far as myself personally, I've seen representation of China, work conditions in China being awful, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying, is that for everybody? Did they just show us the worst of the worst? When you're talking 1 billion people, if everybody, you would think there would be more just people fleeing if it was that bad. For some, and now again, take the labor camps out of it. I just don't know what it's like for like a middle class, say just a working class person under.
Right, you're thinking that's the bottom of the spectrum. Like, right, well, okay, fair.
How do they live? And I'm not saying that justifies the lower class, but just like here, if you.
But that's completely defeating the purpose of communism. Everybody should be eating the same, right? Yeah. So why is there that guy at the low end of the totem pole? That's why.
It's not.
There's always a guy losing.
It seems like it's a false representation of communism. What they got going on over there? Dictatorship, sure. Communism in the sense of government control, absolutely. With WeChat and whatnot. They control everything. They control your money. You fuck up under their standards, your money, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting paid.
That's where they're trying to do the social scores and weird shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where they were bolting people into their house during that was an interesting view.
We're gonna have that soon here.
No, if somebody's gonna get punched in their shit, they come do that to my front door first. They
passed the TikTok bill where TikTok's not mentioned one time in it. Very similar to the "Don't Say Gay" bill, where it didn't say the word "gay."
Russian nesting doll. That is that bill.
Between that'll be the next step, and we'll be right behind it. We're a step ahead though, because we've done it to ourselves. So China has social credit scores that are monitored by the government. We got social, not necessarily scores, but you're judged socially by your views, by your thoughts. You're put. So we already do it enough without the government needing to do it.
Now, I'm sorry, but my ADD right now just took me immediately to the most ridiculous shit I have heard all day, and I'm so ready right now. Lay this out for me. Lay this extreme. No, slowly.
This is a feel-good story, guys. This is a feel-good story. You know, we talk a lot about climate change and the negative effects of climate change.
Yeah. Listen to this shit. Listen to this.
But turns out we found some positive news and something, depending on your how you like to watch your baseball, you know, something you should take a look at.
Please tell me it's not a live broadcast.
Just listen.
Oh, shit.
It's one of the most exciting parts of the game. The crack of the bat, the moment you know it's gone.
It's gone!
And this morning, a new study suggests one reason why sluggers may be hitting it out of the park a little bit more often: climate change.
There is a pretty simple physical mechanism going on here, which is that when temperatures rise, the air gets less dense, meaning that there is less air resistance for balls flying through the air.
The study, led by Dartmouth College scientists, analyzed 100,000 major league games and more than 200,000 balls hit in play. Their findings: games played in warmer temperatures can lead to more home runs because of a reduction in ballpark air density.
We were able to isolate the role of climate change by using what we call climate model simulations.
Christopher Callahan, the lead author on the study, says since 2010, more than 500 home runs can be attributed to global warming. Over the last 40 years, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the average U.S. temperature in June, July, and August has increased by more than 2 degrees. Scientists saying outdoor stadiums like Wrigley Field in Chicago, which host a lot of day games, will likely see larger increases in home run rates over enclosed stadiums. Home runs have seen previous surges, like in 2019, when the MLB even changed the size of its baseballs to decrease the distance of travel. ESPN's Buster Olney says, whatever the reason, an increase in home runs is good for the game.
We saw at the end of last year when Aaron Judge was chasing the American League record for home runs. Everybody in baseball was watching that. Fans were excited by that.
So let's just unpack that, you know? Let's take a breath, because I'm gonna fucking punch my monitor. There's no way. Now, all joking aside, that person needs to be put in a fucking home. For you to go and say that global warming can attribute to not 2 or 3, 500, bro, we're putting him up Albert Pujols', like, come on, that's number 6. What the fuck is that? Bro, we're giving climate change the Mark McGwire special. Like, what the fuck is that? Nah, no. Here, we're gonna actually look at this. Let's go. BaseballSavants.com. I want to know how many
home runs climate change
day to night, and I want to know also. I could chat GPT this. I'm gonna do this while I'm sitting here. But I want the examining home run rates by ballpark. So by ballpark, you're going to see indoor, outdoor, like they were just talking about. The fly. So you have.
Why would climate change affect the temperature inside on a stadium that's inside? When they just adjust.
Right. Well, no, if you're thinking about, like, I could understand if they're talking about, like, in Tampa, you were talking when you were in Orlando, the AC being wild. So in the dome, I could see the ball being colder, being like a 60 degree, especially up at the top. I could easily see that going and catching a few maybe feet off the ball. We're not talking about life-changing plays here. Like these people are acting like fucking Torrey Hunter was just out there sticking his thumb up his fucking ass. Like, this is ridiculous. The fact that you're gonna go and contribute the viscosity of the air is what we're arguing here. A golf ball goes further in the heat. Everybody knows that during the day. Everybody knows this. Who fucking cares if it's there's no way that climate change has anything to do with a baseball. And I'm not going to let this rest. This is incredible.
I think the better question is, how could we become the guys that do those studies? You know what I mean?
Bro, where's my grant? Bro, I'll do it for half the cost. I'll do it for half the cost, and I don't even need the money. Like, that's the easiest. Think about
they say they studied 1,000 games.
Who cares? Their study was sitting on their dick,
they got
watching
that
Friday.
Was probably $1 million to multi-million-dollar grant to do that study.
Oh, yeah.
For that the whole thing, for that minute and a half of fame on ABC. That was it. And now it's just further proof. But what I don't really get is, like, climate change aside, isn't there a lot more things that you could, okay, let's assume for argument's sake that climate change is as bad as they tell us. Wouldn't you put that money into researching, like, how's it affecting wheat crops, or how does it affect corn, or how does it affect any shit that I don't know nothing about, but shit that, like, is meaningful, like shit that we would have to actually adjust our lives. Like, okay, if climate change is this bad that our seasons get fucked up, something like that. Okay. You're determining how many fucking home runs get hit because of climate change? That's where we think we should be researching.
Well, I would I would go to maybe a Greenland first, maybe some Antarctica, maybe go fuck around with some seals or some shit. Not at Wrigley. You know, that seems like a really... You know what probably happened? Do you remember that fuckstick that went and had him and his dad went to every ballpark around and went to every single one of the ballparks and in like one season, and it was something they always wanted to do. It was really stupid. I guarantee you those are the guys that ran that fucking study, sitting there with their, the guys that bring the notepad, they go and mark, you got to, oh my God.
Are you just lashing out because you always wanted your dad to take you around to every stadium?
No, my dad did take me around to every stadium. The only stadium that I ever wanted to be in was Yankee Stadium, and I mean, we went there several times, but no, I don't have any good memories from any asshole holding that little coach's book, writing in the lineup. No, they usually always hung over their shirt a little bit and always smelled like shit. Umpired the girls' softball on the weekends.
Depends on when you're talking. Like you're talking back in the 80s, people that like kept score at games and did shit like that. Like
no. The dad that comes completely on his own to sit behind at his son's little league game to run little slashes or to like go to the major league game. People still write that shit sitting in people like doing that. It blows my mind. It's like going and trying to do an old, writing your own frames in bowling. It's it's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Unless it's a nostalgic thing like the Pins in Pittsburgh. But I am looking right here at a serious ass study between the year of 2019 and 2021. And there is a way to go and actually calculate this amongst fly balls that were hit at or above a 95 mile an hour exit velocity and below a 110 with a launch angle less than 30 during this game played, or the games played before May 31st of the year. There is almost a 32% or 32 points in the rates of these wall scrapers, which are basically short flies. These are incredible. Like, these stats are... So Oakland's is much, similar trends can be observed for other ballparks as well. Here's Busch. Essentially, the difference between 2019 and 2021, the Giants moved their fence in. So I don't know if we can go and count that one. They have a study for each ballpark, but the exit velocity is not the only way to mitigate the player-specific effects, but it is an important factor to keep in mind when thinking about the park-specific home run rates. There's no way that you can do it by temperature. I think you could do it by day or night, but there's no shot in hell that you could go and actually calculate that. I don't know.
Of course there isn't.
I mean, look, man. I'll give them that. If the Earth is flat,
good enough with numbers, which these guys probably were, you can find whatever results you're looking for when doing a study, and that's the results that they were looking for. So
did the guy that sewed people together, dude. What the fuck is it? Like, people? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. That's like, then what the hell is time? Like, what the hell is the point then? When I see
they figured they could get baseball fans on board with climate change, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the point of it was. I couldn't tell you.
Yo, baseball fans put out, let's get them on the climate change bus, son.
I think it goes back to what I've been saying all along. I don't think that a lot of the stuff that we overanalyze is some master scheme. I think the truth of the matter
asinine.
But I think that's what I'm saying is the truth of the matter is there's a lot of idiots running things, whatever it is, and that's what it is. You just see incompetency. It's not always like a conspiracy behind it. It's just these people are fucking dumb.
Well, I think that people are also not necessarily just dumb. I think that they just genuinely don't give a shit, or they're just too tuned out to the ultimate reality.
Think somebody genuinely think about this somewhere along the lines, either as a joke or as a real thing. Somebody thought this is a good idea. You know what, guys? Just getting out of a pandemic, all this shit's going on. We really need to get to the bottom of these home runs. Okay? Because how does that become a thing? Who do you
I'm concerned.
It had to be government funded. So at some point, either somebody in the government thought that was a good idea, or somebody came to him and was like, we've been doing some research and the American public wants to get to the bottom. We're thinking that there may be a few extra home runs over.
I mean, did we run a consensus of who was disturbed about said air ball lift or what? Like, now did we ever take into consideration that maybe the guys were on TRT and then possibly, like, I don't know, Jack to the Tits? Do you remember Yasiel Puig?
No.
He is a massive, I believe, Cuban or Dominican guy who just plays right field, but looks like he eats just straight iron. I mean, the guy's massive he's a big dude for a baseball player. You have Mike Trout, you have Aaron Judge. You're seeing these guys that are just massive that you didn't see typically in, like, Barry Bonds is a big guy, and Barry Bonds was a big boy whenever he was hitting his home runs, right? Barry Bonds is tiny compared to the guys that are natural now.
Yeah.
So we're definitely having some different ball size matters, right? Absolutely, Lobo. No question about it.
And when you're talking about baseball, I get all the analytics, and like I said, I'm sure that there's some statistics that these guys could back up what they're saying with. But the truth of the matter is, like, there's way too many variables in every part of that. You're gonna go back and how in detail are you looking at the exact temperature at that time during it? Like, just
you can do it with a quantum computer.
But why? Why so much effort put into it?
Because they wanted to go.
Purpose?
I'm telling you, because the father and son wanted to go to each game. It's a free tax write-off. You get to go to game to game to game.
Why not?
And you get to study.
Are they gonna see how many errors were caused by climate change?
Of course.
Next?
Absolutely.
I mean,
gonna make sure that all the
studies in the NFL of missed extra points. That definitely sounds like something that could be pointed to climate change.
I mean, the aerodynamics against that ball, it is a very, very round surface.
Well,
we might have to go and make the ball bigger.
Who do we get in touch with to do this study? I want to go watch 1,000 football games and analyze every kick and what the temperature is. And
what's that asshole that does the really cool like science ESPN science things? You know what I'm talking about? When they go and, like, show you how hard Ronaldo kicks or like how hard a Rampage Jackson's punch is or whatever. The sports science. That's what it is. Sports science with whatever that guy's name is. We got to call him up. Yo, hey, bro, I got a real big absolute DEFCON 5 situation here for you, buddy. I'm going to need you to go, and I'm going to need you to start immediately. And I mean yesterday.
Yeah. We can probably convince Cuban that climate change has something to do with
I'm going to need you to put a balloon up in the air, scramble the jets, because, God damn it, we have global warming coming for left field. And we got to do something about it because, the green monster is not supposed to be pollution.
No, but
it was put here. It was put here by the communists, goddamn.
Well, since we talked about one of the big threats, let's go into the last controversial thing I wanted to touch on.
Are we talking about the semiconductor farm?
No, we're just talking about this shooter. We all seen the headlines. I haven't. This update was from about 8:30.
I did not catch me up to speed. I didn't see much about it.
4 dead. Plus the shooter.
Over what?
I haven't seen a motive yet. It was his work. I don't know if he was, I didn't see anything about if he had got fired or anything. So just that it was happened during a sales meeting around 8:30.
Oh. Were they in the middle of a sale?
And they did say he lied. They said they're not sure on a motive or how he got the rifle, but they did say he live streamed the shooting somewhere on social media.
Yeah, we'll definitely find that. But yeah, that's a very curious thing. So here's my thought: is if that there's no way you're coming out of that, right? So as or as a sane human being, you don't go and if you have a discrepancy with somebody, you handle it there. Even if you want to go to take it there, you don't go and live stream somebody like that or take out casualties with you. That is an unstable human being. Once again, we're going to throw our hands up. We're going to go and say, oh no, it's the gun's fault. No, it's an unstable human being again.
It is, but the reason that this is because that's all it is, and I'm not disagreeing that it's not purely the gun's fault, but like there has to be some kind of middle ground. There has to be.
I agree. Some kind of talk, at least. There needs to be
some
conversation.
kind of conversation. There can't just be both sides pointing the finger and not okay.
No,
maybe,
you need to
maybe meet in the middle. Maybe okay, because I think most gun owners are all for. I understand a lot of these laws are already in place. A lot of the background checks, all that stuff, and they don't get abided. I totally get the angle of, and trust me, I say it all the time. If somebody's willing to commit murder, if they don't legally purchase a gun, they're not gonna not get one because it's breaking a law. But there has to, in this.
Well,
I don't know, like, if this got what the security was in this place. Obviously, this is a little different than a school.
I mean, it doesn't matter, though. It has nothing to do, in my opinion, with what they're trying to post it along with. If you know what I'm talking about. They're trying to go and shape this in a way that they want to. But can I go and point something out real quick? On the screen right now, Interim Chief Jacqueline, whoever the fuck you are, you need to look back in your ranks and ask the guy why right there you're fucking sleeping after 4 people are fucking dead on your watch. Question. Look at that guy standing up sleeping with the red, and is this lady
there, Nunya? It says that it would that points to it being more work related before the banks open to the public.
That didn't have anything to do with anything about the public. This is a work discrepancy where I'm pissed. Give me my goddamn money. That's all it is.
Well,
if there's more motive, come out and say that. But don't.
I think I seen that this guy posted on something. I don't know what social media, but that he alluded to it, and then so that's the other end of the issue is
alluded to what?
To that he was going to do this, and I don't know if it was in a personal message similar to the one in Tennessee where we seen that they pretty much told somebody that they were going to go do some fucked up shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and did nothing.
So now you have privacy issues. You have privacy issues. You have Second Amendment issues.
Yeah, let's go and continue to go and throw smoke and fire and distractions at home so we don't see the other, like, come on, man. Like, I feel like they are sitting here watching things. Here's a good analogy, the way that I looked at it earlier. I feel like 2 chess masters are looking at each other right now playing in chess, and whoever these 2 parties are, one party wants to go and obviously look at the other and know, I have you in checkmate. One guy looks down and realizes, oh, he has me in 7 moves. Obviously, he looks across the table, looks at the guy and knows, oh, I have him in 7 moves. Now it's just this stalemate where I know I have him, he knows that he can't do anything, and it's just a basic circle jerk until the inevitable house of cards falls. I'm very, very, very confused why this isn't or is it? I guess this would be my question. Is this a Second Amendment type of thing that like people go and keep saying, oh, they're gonna come and like take? No. Nobody raided shit. Nobody was trying to go and hurt anybody. Everything was peaceful. Why does it seem like that's not the case now?
Well, I don't know. I think it's because, like everything else, this country is just so divided, and it's so easy right now. Neither party offers any solutions. They just point fingers at the other one. So everything is polarized, and everything is like, the last shooting, the shooting in Tennessee, you had people on one side that were, blaming a certain class of people and almost dunking on the other side as like, see, told you so.
Right.
And now after today's shooting,
things like this shouldn't be wins for one side or the other.
Now with today's shooting, with it not being anybody, with it just being
that's ridiculous.
A regular, whatever, not somebody that fit into some box. Now it's I told you. It's like, what? Told you so's? Like it's told you so's and what about isms? Oh, your guy did this? Well, it doesn't matter if my guy did this because your guy did that.
Oh, really? Is that your kid in a fucking box?
Your girl blew 2, or my girl blew 2 dudes? That's all right. Your girl blew 3. That's what it's like. Back and forth.
I gotta go get a goddamn leash then, but like, what? No, I mean, it's a bad metaphor. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know, man. I think that you're being forced to either be an asshole for standing up what you believe is right, or you're insensitive for not.
Dude, Tampax is paying a dude. Okay, I'm as open-minded as they come. All right, I'm as kind as they come. I'm as accepting as they come.
Right.
But do we really live in fucking clown world?
I don't know that clown world would be the right word or words for it, but we definitely live in an altered state of disillusion.
I'll give you some homework tonight, and we'll talk
about
this.
No, fuck off.
Yeah. I want you to look up.
No, last time this happened.
Maoism. Okay? Look up Maoism.
Do you know that the last time this happened, like, this went badly for you?
Yeah, you'll still be up after I go to sleep. When I wake up. Yeah, I know.
Right. Okay. When you have to catch so at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, when I'm like, okay, so what the yeah, you're gonna catch that one. Ooh, Maoism. That sounds kinky.
Yeah.
Right. See, Sabrina knows. There's 12 on the wall right now. How many you got right now?
I don't know.
You put them down like you put them down, or you, like you have a little trouble.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I ain't got no trouble.
Oh damn, Proski. All right.
I'm too blessed to be stressed, homie.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Sabrina, clip it and ship it, babe. That's beautiful.
It's Dingus Day. Everything's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Wait a minute. We're not gonna walk past that because you were trying to tell me this earlier. You said you were gonna get into it. Now, I got might just be a kind of out there question. What the fuck is Dingus Day, bud?
April 10th. It's the day after Easter.
What is a dingus?
Here, I'll give you the Dingus Day is a Polish and Polish American celebration on Easter Monday to mark the completion of Lent.
Oh, flavor.
They slap each other, so
with some leaves and shit.
Parties begin mid-morning with a buffet of traditional cuisine and last until after daybreak on Tuesday. Whoa, they go all night. Previously, on Easter Monday, the males would shower water on the girls and tap them with pussy willows. The females would do the same to the boys on Tuesday. Nowadays, at current Dingus Day celebrations, both men and women swap water and pussy willow equally. Because it is one of the earliest plants to bloom in the spring. The branches of these plants are the day's greatest prep. So they're showering each other with water and pussy willows.
I think they honestly just named that flower just to be a complete ass. Like that's egregious.
You gotta ask yourself what came first.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do it. That's gonna break me. Like, why are you asking me? No. I'm gonna hit this one right on the head. There's no way you're asking me what's the difference between.
No, I know what the difference is. I'm saying which one came first.
Or which one came first? Definitely the flower.
Oh, so you're saying it was an outrageous not the person that named the flower, the person that named the genitalia.
No, the person that named the flower because they're an asshole.
Why? They weren't thinking.
Think about you going and, like, hey, can you hand me the rose? Or speaking in a normal, like, what is it?
Yeah, but before that,
Hayden.
that word didn't have any dirty name.
No, because it was probably translated worth a fuck.
It's like cock, you know what I mean? Before that turned into it, you were just talking about a chicken. There was nothing wrong. Kid be out there, Dad, the cock's at it again. You know
no,
what I mean?
Bro. No, I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure cock is meant cock in a long stretch of the imagination for a long time.
Probably.
I know.
I think it meant a male chicken, right? That's a cock.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, shit, yeah. So, I mean, we can also go and start talking about big, long tubes of what seems to be a silicone substance, or also known as cock.
Yeah, cock's a male bird, especially a rooster.
Blue-footed boobies are good, too.
Comes from the British.
Non-refundables off just absolutely looking sauced up. What the fuck is going on around here?
What's up,
non-refundable.
man?
What do you think is going on here, buddy? We have gone tapped in, you know. We're hanging out with you a little late night. You guys get to see the absolute madness that is trying to explain to me things that do not make sense to me. Oh, non-refundable. Wait, you're going to love this. Now, apparently there's a study, right, that makes the argument that
make the argument.
No. It proves the argument. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead. He does it.
It lays it out as it lays it out as fact.
So this is what fact?
Doesn't say like there's a.
No, what fact is it again?
This is the data accepted. Mr. Olney said, "Hey, whatever it takes to put people in the seats." Back to you, Jan. Like it was the stupidest thing I've ever.
Are you talking Buster Olney? Are you talking about the guy, the Giants' old catcher?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't that who she said? Or he said?
No, that's Buster Posey. That's my fault.
One of them ESPN baseball dudes. But yeah, 500 more home runs were hit in the last however many years because of climate change. Just to bring you up to speed.
Bro, that's at least top 7.
We also we're still kind of on the gun control topic.
Oh, fire! Sorry.
We touched on Taiwan.
Here's at least a thought that I had while you were saying there's got to be something, right? So what if every member of the House and the Senate committee, is that an odd or an even number? Like total, not just divided.
The total number? I'm
not
sure.
Well, so if my thought here is, what if each one of them was mandated that they had to go and give just one idea of even one step of how we could go and move the gun violence one way or the other, necessarily not all one way or the other, because you'll have some Republicans or some people on the aisle that obviously are willing to give maybe a notch instead of trying to take it from the other side, because they might have opposing views on some things, but they might be different on others. I feel like you would see almost a balancing of the way that you go and analyze the way that people could possibly help, and take all of those brainstorming ideas and see what the best ones are. If they're all shit, then whatever. You wasted a bunch of fucking time that you guys were already going to waste doing the same fucking shit. But at least it's somebody, every person having an opinion and allowing it to go.
And in a simplistic way, that's exactly how it should
be, but it's not. And I thought the same thing.
No way, shape, or form.
I thought the same thing until you told me.
What both parties do as well is, and we've talked this before, they put a headline in the bill, whatever it is, gun control bill.
No, that was the thing earlier.
Thing about gun control, and then there'll be billions of dollars in spending that has absolutely, just like the Inflation Act, not a goddamn thing to tackle inflation. And they even say it, they tout it. Our Inflation Act was the biggest investment in climate change in history. Think about that. That's
not to mention that they're just continuing to let it run.
I had the most fucked up transmission in my car. My solution was to buy some new tires.
No, that would be, I mean, if it's shaking, hit it harder with a hammer.
My engine just stopped working. I'll get some rims. I'll put some rims on my car.
No, dude, you got to definitely check out that muffler one time.
So that's what happens is they put a headline because the truth of the matter is that neither side wants to admit is that none of the people in power give a fuck about your kids, my kids, or any of these other kids, especially the fucking real poor ones. They could.
Well, good. I don't give a fuck about their kids either, but I care about kids in general.
As do I.
But I don't give a fuck about your children. Will I help them if it does not go and put my, I mean, yeah, I might throw myself in front of a kid, but like, I'm talking about like, I'm not going to go and be upset one way or the other, but like, kids should be able to grow.
When I see that kids die, like that's
no,
awful.
absolutely. What I'm saying is that kids should not have to go, and either parents shouldn't have to be in that position, nor ever make that whether it's get the healthcare, but like I don't think any kids should ever have to go through that
too, because you have a lot of times people making these tough decisions whose children aren't children anymore. You know what I mean? So it's already past them.
Well, can I argue on like somebody that's gone and
that's what we're here to do.
Well, I want to argue that the fact that like if we would have gone and put, let's call it maybe 1/100th of the money that we probably spend towards military contractors, Raytheon, Boeing, like let's say 1/100th of that money, and we sent it to like mental health research and actually went and gave a fuck about possibly not just throwing a pill at everybody, but just maybe trying to figure out the brain chemistry and like people are doing some really cool studies and shit. Yeah. And if the government went and tried to put that into practice,
just counselors and stuff, people.
I mean, having somebody to talk to is 100% the case. Yeah, absolutely. But
the thing is, all that stuff needs to be tried before anything else, man. We've become way too quick to.
People need to look at their food.
One assessment of your child, and all of a sudden he's on 3 different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that was me.
If it's not. People always point fingers and say it's bad parenting. Sure, there's a lot of bad parenting out there, but there's
just also fucked up kids.
There's great parents that just can't communicate with their kids about what's wrong. It's not because the kid's bad or the parent's bad.
No, there's a communication breakdown.
You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, my mom took me to a shrink or whatever when I was a kid. You know, product of divorce. Had a stepdad for 6 months that got whacked by a car and was in a coma. Like, I've seen some shit, and it helped me. You know, I'm man enough to admit it. Like, it was conversations that my mom was spot on about. Like, I couldn't have with her, like, because I was a kid and it didn't make sense to talk to your parents about shit like that. It's, you know,
right. No, it's definitely weird balance between
you need influence coming from people that have the kids' concern. And what we've turned into also is, and it's mainly our own faults, because it's where we allow our kids to look to advice.
Right.
And it's people that don't
have
care
the
about
best
the
interest.
kid.
Yeah.
They just want to get validation from the kid that
Well,
what
no,
they're doing is right.
well, I can echo that, but the people that take the sweet liberty to go and then look at those children as prey are the ones that need to be figured the fuck out. There should be a way. Now I'm just guessing that there's a way to like cut that shit out of everybody's system. You want to go and alter some DNA and put some really cool labels on your genomics and shit like that. Hey, how about you go and cut out the one where we are smelling children and doing really fucked up shit, and because then everything is just a much better place in that perspective, when we don't have huge political leaders doing extremely heinous things that are not just like, oh yeah, that's just kind of a thing. No, these are real things.
Yeah, and then what's tough is there's so many rumors about other things that it kind of waters down the stuff that there is actual proof of. And
right, but the fact that you can go
until
MIA. How long have you had a son? How long have you been around children in your life? Have you ever gone and been in a situation of any person ever in your life ever go and say, oh, that person inappropriately touched me, unless it was a bar fight?
Yeah, one time. And we dealt with it.
So the point that I'm making
not
is
with Nikki, not with my son, but
no,
younger, with one of my buddy's little sisters.
Right, but there's no excuse for that. Period.
No, there's none. And that recidivism rate continues to be the highest among any crime.
It blows my mind. It's obviously something that's let's just call it, even if you want to look at it in a scientific perspective, it's something that is unknown about a human brain that is not let's call it applicable, or like, look at oh my god, Nunya, I about hit the roof. Oh my god. Okay, so let's break this down. This man in front of a hall full of people went full, and the only thing that I saw is I wanted to almost disassociate it from this person that has been looked at as almost a deity. I wanted to, I looked at it as one of those, what are those things called?
It's awful. Isn't he like the Pope in that faith?
He is a spiritual teacher. He is the 14th His Holiness. He is one of 14 teachers. This is bigger than the Pope, but not bigger than the Pope, but in a completely separate religion. This guy is fucking him. And the fact that this man in front of Jesus Christ, it's so, what are we doing? And what am I watching whenever this is like there's no way in the history of hell that if you went and saw that happen, like, what do you do if you're old school George W., right? And you're sitting there next to the Dalai Lama himself, right? And you pull up, you go see the old family, you go shake some hands, kiss some babies, right? And you look over to your right as you're hanging out with the Dalai Lama himself, and you say, "Hey, suck my tongue." You're fucking weird, bro. That's fucking weird. That's weird.
Well, I think the bigger issue that's getting overlooked is that this shit happened almost 2 months ago.
I don't care when it happened.
I do, because a lot of people seen it and did nothing. That showed no outrage. Like, we're just finding out about it now, but this footage has been out there.
Let's go and play devil's advocate. Okay, I'll be cool with it, right?
There's people in the crowd. I see some dude. I don't give a fuck if it's the Dalai Lama, the Dalai, whatever. You're sucking on some little boy's tongue. I'm punching you right in the fucking mouth.
Listen, MIA. When the fucking Pope Francis says, "Come give me that tongue, baby," you bounce that ass. So it's the same
motherfucker in the face.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is, like, you can look at it, but think about if you're a religious type of person that can get to that point where you're believing, and I'm not saying that being religious is anything. It's like, you don't want to go and see that as a...
Yeah, people are blinded by something.
That's a very, very, there's no, like, look, Tom Brady kissing.
I guarantee there would be there was rationalization. Like, I didn't really just see what I thought I seen.
Right, but Tom Brady kissing his son. Tom Brady kissing his son is like, bro, that's weird. But if that's your relationship with your son, I watched Stepdads, where
that's
you saw
every time he leaves me.
Right, but like
with no tongue.
Right, but that's the point, though. Is like, there's a difference between what family, like, some families that's what it is, but like others it's not. But there is a whole different ball game when you have now gone and that's whoa past. That's not third gear. That's
did in public.
What do you? Yeah, nope, no. There's no way in hell that you're gonna tell me. Like, I looked him up earlier. The Dalai Lama, he's the 14th. He is His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet.
Mr. Trades for free. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Always appreciate it. You have a fantastic night, my friend.
Trades, absolute. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Mucho grande. So he's got a fucking spiritual name that is literally 8 names. Jetson. I'm not kidding. Jetson or Sun. But he is to the foremost spiritual leader of the Gulag or Yellow Hat School of Tibetan Buddhists. The newest and most dominant of the 4 major schools of Tibetan Buddhism. The 14th and current Dalai Lama is, Tenzin Gyatso. I don't know.
How long has this guy been the Dalai Lama for? Is this the same guy Bill Murray was talking about?
No, but God damn it, if I don't go right back there every single time. So, I'm playing with the Dalai Lama. Like, I don't even know what he says, but like when he's he
said on my deathbed I'd have peace, so
I got that going for me. Yeah. When he's holding the weeder, like at dinner. I don't know when. So since the time of the 7th century, Dalai Lama headed in 1951.
But one would argue that all this shit has just been like, the evil side of it is like the normalization of shit like this. Not so much in the sense of like them telling us that it's okay, but at the same time not condemning it.
Bro's a creepy ass Asian dude who's tonguing a kid in public. That is no longer a fucking deity. That's not encumberment, is what this guy is. Encumberment. Bro, you are a fucking disgrace. You lost it in that quick. It was that quick. But yes, I do understand your complication with obviously the swiftness of it being, I guess, it doesn't seem like until something socially gets a roar that anybody gives a fuck about it. But once it's too big to ignore, it's like, okay, now we got to deal with it. Now fucking Pandora's out of the box. Where do we go from here? Well, maybe not to Tibet. Because apparently they're doing some really weird shit, tonguing each other and doing some off, and it's probably the glasses that threw me off about him.
Who, the Dalai Lama?
Yeah, dude. Always them like those pink frame kind of fucking weirdo. You knew that he was doing some wild shit on the back end.
Maybe not. If we trade up with Arizona, possibly something like that. Or maybe take a later round one.
So we're doing that fantasy football this year.
Yeah, that'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, I just got the fact that we're doing a draft in 3 weeks on the NFL, so should be an interesting one.
It always is. It always is.
Dolly's glasses are ass.
Yeah, if we could have had the data out in time, we probably could have sold that data at the combine on climate change affecting quarterbacks.
Oh, I mean, but why would we go and not go to the combine and watch it and get more data?
I think easily, just a rough estimate, and I've been doodling some numbers here. I got a few formulas. I'm estimating since I only went back about 10 years, so we'll say over the last 10 years, I'm saying there's been an additional 164, roughly between 164 to 168 extra touchdown passes.
Oh, okay. See, now I was also finding that interesting. I was looking at the fact that Tyreek was putting in a 4.18, and to my calculation,
Tyreek Hill's career, basically, he owes it to climate change.
Oh, no. The fact is that I think it's been actually holding him back this entire time, because the way that
it's been helping him with the climate change. Mahomes has been able to throw the ball a little further.
No, all the smog in the air, it's definitely been weighing on Tyreek's drag. He would have been able to run, in my calculations, a 3.82 under the proper ozone layer.
But if the ball goes faster,
it doesn't matter. He's doing the combine
by their logic.
No, but he's doing the combine, so this is irrelevant. So now, if we're talking about catching passes, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is easily made better by climate change. That's obviously where the ring came from. It's a big conspiracy theory.
He promotes it. He probably incinerates garbage and stuff on the side.
Tyreek is easily taking pull from the red pill climate changers,
There's a few good quarterbacks. Next year's quarterback draft class is supposed to be the shit, though.
Climate change doesn't seem to affect scoring in soccer, though. Mm-hmm. What? No, I don't think it does, but it definitely does create a Bendham like Beckham circumstance for sure.
It also causes soccer players to drop dead, I think, too.
Oh, does it? I think that's the RNA, baby.
I'm gonna go with climate change.
Well, I mean, we could start talking about white clusters in autopsies.
Climate change. Right. I like that. It's like the tab on the folder that you never can go, and it's always the page that's stuck to the back of the book that you like, oh, there's still words on the back of that, but fuck it,
Not
It's
important.
like when Lois Griffin ran for mayor and everything they asked her, she was just like 9/11.
No. It's sad that our fucking government and everybody that's worth or that we put up into a prestige or a higher power goes and shows up to fucking work like Marshawn Lynch did at the Super Bowl. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
I'm here so I don't get fined.
I'm telling you, look into Maoism and you'll
No. Hey, I appreciate you.
Look into Maoism and the Cultural Revolution in China.
Hey, I appreciate you, but I'm here so I don't get fined.
Well, I'm telling you.
No, I'm telling you.
Some things you can't unsee, bro.
I'd rather have that Hennessy and that tequila in my cup, son.
And then after you do that, I'll play a clip of somebody who lived through it talking about it.
Through what? Climate change?
No, through the Cultural Revolution. I forget what they called it. It was similar to the Great Reset. It was like the Great Leap. I think it was the Great Leap or the some kind. Hold on, I'll look it up.
Are we going like what's gonna happen when like flat earthers become like what if it becomes true that you end up going and finding out the Earth's flat, like straight up flat, and then everybody has to just like roll over because there's no way.
Great Leap Forward, it was called.
Great
From
Leap
1958 to 1962.
Does that mean that like is climate change also going and I don't know, introducing extremely cool, like almost like genomic?
I don't know. I think the
proxies?
fact of the matter is we simply don't know. I think that there's a shit ton of scientists that have just been paid to push a climate change narrative. I think there's a shit ton of scientists that really think that their data and their way of looking at it, that climate change is real and needs to be tackled. Like, I don't think the alarmists are those people, but then I think that there's other people that don't necessarily disprove it, but put it in a bigger context and show it in a different way. And like my view on it is like, yeah, you can't say that we're doing all this shit and it's not having any effect. Like you can't say like all of a sudden millions and millions of people are dry. What effect that is, I don't know. You know, that's the same effect that dinosaurs were having when they were farting, probably. Like,
well, no, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know that you can go and equate the two, but do you even believe in? I mean, if you're still on hollow Earth theory and you're not thinking that the moon is a fucking satellite, Lobo, you're behind. Okay, but in reality, you're somebody that is looking at fucking global warming right now. Listen to me very carefully. If you are not picking your ass up off the goddamn ground and figuring out that we are getting closer and close to a nuclear feud between three superpowers, potentially the entire
well, the
world.
problem with going down just that road is that then you people lose faith, because we should all be doing our part. Like we shouldn't be looking at it like
we shouldn't be able to pawn it off.
No, we shouldn't. But like, I feel like there's a good majority of people that, you know, even fully believe in climate change and stuff, that the only effect that it has on their life is that they're a little bit better with the stuff, you know, they
No, but let's think about reality for a little bit. How many look every day, even if you go and get a lifestyle coach or something, they're going to tell you to break up your shit. And most of the most brilliant people and the most successful people in the world time box. They go and organize their days, etc. Right?
Okay.
Lost the whole train of thought. But even them, I mean, they go and individually, fuck, where the hell did that thought go? Jesus, it's gone.
Cheers.
Cheers. No, I can't wrap my head fully around the fact that if we had people, I could understand some being more relaxed with just regular normal things, but like I feel like if we all went and had to have the decisions that we made, if everybody could see each other for exactly what they were, if people were able to be honest, or if people were able to see each other for what they actually were, their truest being, nobody would ever want to go and truly be a piece of shit, so that when you go and look at somebody, nobody ever wants to be that. You at least want to appeal to some person.
True.
But this is like the fact that we cannot go and look at our state legislature when they're going and, or excuse me, our federal government and say, you and the little fuzzy guy, what's his name? What the hell's that guy that looks like a little rat?
Little fuzzy guy?
Yeah, the guy that looks like he's 4 cheeses away from being a rat. Deadass.
Jerry Nadler?
No, the guy that's always on the CDC shit.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So
he's retired now.
He's retarded now?
Retired.
I was about to say, damn, that thing is getting people nasty.
Lobo, much appreciated, brother.
Damn.
Much appreciated, my man. I lost my train of thought. Nine coming in hot with that. Just the tip. Just the tip. Much appreciated, my man. Yeah, if we trade up, the Texans are definitely taking a quarterback. If we trade up, we may be able to get what's his name. I'm okay with going with Jimmy G, though. I would have liked to see the move for DeAndre Hopkins, but they're going to pretty much have to cut him. His contract's a little bit rough if we take that on. But if we had DeAndre, Devontae, and then what's his name in the slot dude we got from New England, Jacoby Myers. Ooh. Oh, his wife's still running the NIH. Interesting. Well, Republicans talked a big game when they got the House. They were going to do this. There was going to be investigations. Fauci was going to be put on the spot. Here we are, 4 months later. Haven't seen it happen. So both parties talk the same big game. Tell you what you want to hear. Give you just enough to hate the other side enough. As long as they can make you hate the other side more, as long as you can hate the other side more than you have to like them, then they got you. And I'm not saying any of you guys, and I'm not saying either party's any better when it comes to that, but third party, that's what we need. That's what we need. And the sad thing is, like, I would like to hear what some of these people have to say about gun control, but both sides just shut the voices down on the other hand, like I said, because it becomes it wants, this side doesn't care about dead children and that side wants to take your guns. And there has to be some kind of meet in the middle. Okay, there has to be a little give and take. I'm not saying infringe on the Second Amendment, anything like that, but we needed to stop dragging our feet. I know nobody wants their kid living in a world where there has to be an armed security guard in a school, but I think that's a good start. Okay, and I would be willing to bet that a lot of the people that make these decisions, that where their kids go to school, there's probably an armed security guard. Now, granted, you got what happened in Uvalde, where cops, whoever, can shit the bed just as well. So it doesn't guarantee any kind of safety, but why not give it a chance? I don't see it I don't see anything increasing. For the fraction of the money that we spend on bullshit every day, you could get two birds stoned at once. How many veterans do we have out there who are out of work, who are whatever? You know what I mean? And the fact is, a lot of those patriots, they would do it for free. They would defend children. And when I say patriots, I don't just mean right-wing people with guns. I mean, there's a lot of patriots, just people that served in the military, that would be more than willing. Why not? Take a step in the right direction. Do something. Neither party does shit and then blames the other side. And trust me, I'm not trying to say I have the answers to this, but it's at the point of ridiculousness. Especially when it's the whole other issue isn't even being looked at. We see these mass shootings, quote unquote, when it's a school or when it's something like this. You don't see the same coverage every weekend in Chicago. I think it's on average 8.8 people get shot a day in Chicago, something along those lines. Not to say that they're all murders, but let's get some smiles, Lobo. I don't know where Enzo went. We were gonna get
I'm talking to Katie about one of her students real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Well, maybe that'll put a smile on his face. Maybe the student did something cute, and we can get Enzo smiling. It is 11 p.m. This might be the latest we ever been on. Yeah, and you got what's his name? Dude from Ohio State, CJ Stroud. Then you've got there's two good quarterbacks, Bryce Young. Then you've got Will Levis, whatever his name is. I think if we don't get one of the top two, and that would only happen if we trade up with Arizona. Yeah, totally agree, Nunya. I mean, I'm not saying that that's going to be the end all be all and that there isn't going to be somebody that ends up testing that or, trying to ambush that person, but it's a start. It would be something. And the real truth is, like, both parties know that they could agree on some shit like that would just calm everybody down. You know what I mean? Something that they came out and they just said, okay, we don't have all the answers yet. We're going to start with this. We're going to look more into the background checks, mental health, start doing something. But attack the problem because, how criminals, how do you attack that? How criminals get their hands on a gun, and people will say, well, they weren't a criminal until they did. Well, just because they weren't caught for anything yet, and that's where it becomes a privacy issue that gets real slippery as far as warning signs. And, you don't want to live in a nanny state where you have AI or the government or something monitoring everything for the sense of trying to avoid, looking for people leaving these. I mean, that's a slippery slope. It's also a slippery slope relying on people to, see something, say something. Green tomorrow? I couldn't tell you. We'll get Enzo's. I think Enzo thinks we're going to see green probably till Wednesday and then see what CPI does. All right, I'm going to have one last cheers here for a minute. Yeah, so we were going to do this every night, but with more of like a market wrap up and then a preview. We got a little bit off the rails tonight just because it was our first time not being on when the market's open. So I think we got a little excited. But, we want to do it something more of just wrapping up everything that happened during today. Some projections and shit for tomorrow. Just trying to utilize my time as best as I can. Enzo's been fucking killing it during the day. And, not that I won't be around. I'm not saying it like that, but he's needed when the market's popping. Like, he reads those charts like no other as they keep going. So if we can do something other parts of the day and make it work, we're gonna try to do whatever. But you guys got to let us know what you like, what we should do, what you think will bring an audience in, what we could do consistently. All that good stuff.
Sorry about that. Hey, look at your phone real quick and give me your thoughts on 1 and 3. Nunya, if you could as well. Just for a family discount kind of thing. Sorry to interrupt though. Yeah, no, very curious about what happens in the market tomorrow. We did go and decide to end the end of the market. I always have, okay, cool. Let's see, what do we got here looking? Anybody want to go and tell me why the hell CNN's futures have been down for like 3 days. I've been trying to go. I always look at CNN, and their futures have been dog shit. Like it says,
use too.
huh?
I think that's who I usually use too.
Well, when you go and look at them now, it says like an error has occurred, X, Y, and Z. But I think that everything is up green. I think that we're probably going to continue to go green in the morning into like when we first open, might get a little upside. I think we ultimately pull back a little. If we decide to drop early and right off rip pre-market, I'm going to be looking probably the 407 break, but obviously the 406, 405, 80 area, somewhere like that to keep coming to the downside. I do see obviously the fact that we have been green today, but if I'm looking at it like tomorrow, and honestly, if you want to see the way that him and I kind of figure out, he kind of helps me figure out what my game plan is it's basically like, what am I supposed to go and be aware of today? And so what is tomorrow? Like, what are we looking at tomorrow? What times in the market are the crucial things? When's that data coming out tomorrow, by the way?
What are we waiting on tomorrow?
I don't remember. It's not consumer, right? Consumer inflation?
No,
or
Wednesday. CPI is Wednesday. PPI is Thursday. I'm not sure
I'll
what
look at
day
it.
is. Yeah, there's like some China stuff and shit like that. That won't really affect nothing. It says it does, but it really it affects global shit, but it won't affect the market here so much unless something drastic comes out of it.
Yeah, well,
I'm not sure when we get consumer spending either. I think that might be Thursday with PPI. But CPI might come in surprisingly good, and then the bank earnings might come up. And if you remember, Randy Stogner in the beginning of the year, you know what I mean, when we were kind of talking about where the bottom was going to be, and he thought that there was a good start with when we started getting the earnings from the first quarter. So,
Katie,
you know, banks aren't in good shape. They may artificially, you know, just to look at both sides of it like that, we may see JP Morgan, Citi, the same six that we've talked about that I've said before. I think when it's all said and done, and this may be a 2-year, a 3-year, a 5-year, a 10-year process, those will be the last bank standing. And they may come out with good earnings because we may find out now that a lot of money has been shuffled into them because fuck it. You know, why am I going to take a chance with a regional bank that maybe my money will be insured, or I put it in with one of the big boys? You know, I know they're going to print money if something happens. So could go either way for the I think one way or another, those first earnings Friday morning, I think it's Friday morning, JP Morgan, Citi, somebody else. I think that's going to be a very good indicator of what's to come. For the whole earnings season in general.
I would be pressed to see what the hell happens with futures overnight, but I'm gonna probably assume that we're going to what's the last pieces of news? Stock, AI, EV. Yeah, I'd like to see EVs continue to run. So I'd look at like maybe just maybe a sideways to a slight pullback. You're more than likely gonna see that that touch of like maybe 411, and it might just be somewhere real quick, but 411 is going to be just a little place that wants to touch and play with. But I think we might get that pullback to reestablish something like the 40. I wanted to call it the 409.16, 408.80, something like that. So just a little pullback, maybe cool off a couple RSIs, but we need some halfway decent data to not go south, in my opinion. I feel like I was saying earlier, and I think like we've echoed for weeks, it's don't be too bullish on anything because everything can just change on a drop of a dime.
True that.
Could run the market. They could go into a lot of things, but ultimately when you start losing value in an entire people are losing faith simply in the United States and the United States dollar, and if you don't think that that's going to go and cause discomfort to that country's, I mean, any country that has a stock exchange that has 50% of most of its shit all of a sudden just stop in or out, there's going to be a little bit of a kink in the gap where I think we go and have to find I think we lag and have to find a decent place to pull up and lick our wounds. But eventually we're going to have to come hand out instead of trying to go and basically donkey punch our way through politics at this point.
No doubt. Good night, Bray. Good night, Nanya.
Night, guys.
Well, this is. I'll leave you as one last thought on that is something we really haven't talked about, or I haven't really. I guess you wouldn't see it in the news or really hear about it. Is
good.
What are we? What is the United States willing to do to preserve that dollar?
Oh, I think we've gone and I think we've gone and actually contributed several.
Or do you think that this was a controlled collapse of it to roll in? Do you think it's part of the plan to roll in the Fed, the Fed's version of the digital dollar?
I have a
collapse it from the inside so it's controlled, so the people that
you mean like not? Never mind.
Yeah.
No, I think that unfortunately we have gone and realized that if you want to use it metaphorically in this little dance that we're playing, you've used too much fucking thermite tape. And now you have a big fucking pool 3 weeks later of a bunch of thermite pooling at the bottom of said shitstorm that you've created for yourself. And now it's time to fucking clean up your mess. And it does not seem apparent to me, and who the fuck am I? But like, it does not seem apparent to me that the people that we keep in charge of making decisions that impact our country are focused on A, the correct things, B, the rational things, and ultimately we're chasing shit that's been dead as a fucking doornail for years. We're going and climbing up trees and exhausting efforts and helping other countries when we don't know if we're going to be fucking good tomorrow. That's my concern, is what happens when the fucking lights turn off? What happens when shit actually hits the fan? You're not going to need gold. You're going to need fucking ammo, bud. You're going to need a place of out in the middle of nowhere. You're going to need you're gonna need a lot of things that if you're thinking about now, you're in trouble. And if that's where it goes, that's where it goes. And I'm sure there's a lot of people willing to take it there. I'd like to think to the betterment of.
Well, I hope it never gets there, but I think you always have to keep a realization of how fragile.
I don't think it's doomsday. I think it's actually a beautiful, almost Phoenix-like system that we would have to create. As soon as you tear it down, you'll pretty much find very quickly when shit hits the fan, you have people that lead and people that don't. And it's as simple as that.
True, but what happens when you have too many people that want to be leaders and not
let them go full bore like Guardian, or excuse me, Gladiator. We'll go and we'll charge like $25 a head, give it to charity, and put it on Twitch. Also live on Kick, obviously, because
I mean, we've talked about this before. Like just the internet. If the internet went down nationwide,
holy shit, we'd have people lost, man. Yeah, I think that was an hour-long conversation.
But I mean, realistically,
bro, where's my Pornhub? Bro,
what do you think? If all data communication, all phones, all internet, all everything,
you're talking about communication from like a internet device. We're not talking about like a home phone or a telegraph or something like that.
You could say that those
are there other ways of communication long distance, or is it just we're taking all internet and you have no phone? Like no
phone. You're
not a digital phone.
Communicate is just talking to people. You gotta talk to people in person.
No cup on a string.
No phone service.
No cup on a string
anywhere. No service anywhere, because we find out Verizon and all the other ones shit the bed and.
Wait,
they were the original Sam Bankman-Fried, and they spent it all on coke and hookers and weren't ready. Allegedly. I think if you say allegedly.
No, that's incorrect.
No, I gotta say no offense.
No, that's incorrect, and that is false information. It was called methamphetamine.
It
was that. Not, it wasn't that. It wasn't, no.
But no, if we, like, I don't think home phones, if there was, and it doesn't even have to be like an attack or anything like that. It could be a natural event. It could be an earthquake. It could be a
sun flare.
Yeah. So it could be a million different things, but what would be the reaction?
The reaction would be absolutely fucking pandemonium. I mean, it would be chaos to the point where you would have shit for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you could see the entirety of the United States, just all of a sudden, if the lights stayed on but no internet, you'd see everybody start to be okay for about 10, 15 minutes. You'd see people probably get more active and try to try to adapt. But you would see within, in my opinion, 3-4 days max, as early as about 3 or 4 hours, but 3 or 4 days max before people are inventing new ways to communicate or are full-blooded at each other's throats over just simple internet. That's not running water. That's not anything else. That's not grain.
I mean, the power grid is probably more susceptible, which in turn.
What the hell would Russia have any reason to hit us like that, though?
Russia?
What? Yeah,
they wouldn't.
Why would China?
I don't know.
China is looking at us right now as a wounded.
China wouldn't.
That needs to go back to the
I think the thought is China wouldn't because we're their cash cow. Like,
we're not their cash cow.
I mean, we spend more money with China than any country in the world.
I'm sure, but I'm sure that if we weren't fucking with them and putting whatever type of penalties and sanctions on them, I'm sure that they would probably be able to do business with a lot of the other people that they can easily just go and extort for money, or they can go ram it down.
That's why they're getting these other countries to start trading their money.
The dong, the dong. I get it. But the problem is that I don't think people have gone and worked on their Chinese over here. Their Mandarin seems a little slippy. So I don't think they're going to go for that. They're not going for that shit over here.
No, I don't think China wants to like invade the U.S. or like destroy us like that.
Well, good thing that they're hitting the left side.
I think they want to just create chaos and destabilize us so that they could be
the number one superpower.
Yeah.
I think that that's a good plan, but I think that I think I almost want them to hit California first. Just come in about let's say a cool $150 into the coast. You know what I mean? Level every fucking thing you see out there, and then just go home. And we'll call it even. We'll call it square. A couple casualties on one side, a couple casualties on the other. Hey, we'll call it even. It'll I feel like it would make a hell of a lot of difference, guys. That's just me. In a lot more than just political ways. You level out half the TikTokers in the world. You level out half of the shitters that literally look at attention as a monetization form. The people that do shit for clout. The people that go. You can go and probably knock out 19% of all the shit in the United States. Probably 19.
Yeah.
Easily roughly. Some venture capitalist fucksticks with Silicon Valley money.
Go bless that baby, Lobo.
All day, every day, twice on Sunday. Well,
I'm gonna go bless the puppy here.
Hey, you do your thing. I'm gonna take off, go, I don't know, play in traffic or something.
All right.
I will talk at you tomorrow. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Lobo.
Up in the morning.
Lobo, appreciate that 5G. You're the GOAT.
Yes, Lobo and Nan. Both with the 5 spots.
Well, I gotta go see Nan here in a minute. I got a personal thing. You know.
Oh,
yeah, I gotta go do a Zoom call, you know. Hey, that's what you gotta do for some VIP traders every once in a while. You gotta make it clap on cam.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate
what happens.
Excuse me.
Whatever.
Hey, don't even talk about Fight Club, bro. Don't even look at it. Don't even smell it with your breath. But no, we appreciate you guys greatly. We're gonna get out of here. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Yeah. 100. We'll see y'all in the morning. God bless. Good night.